Hello everybody and welcome back to Borderlands. I moved 10 feet forward and I forgot to hit record button. I got the Tricks of Class mod. Alright, cool update. Now we're gonna go kill Lee one time. No, we're not. We're not gonna kill Lee one time. We've given up on the Herald. You know what? Let's go get ourselves a let's go. Yeah. Let's give ourselves a good old let's go, shall we? Yeah, let's grab ourselves one of those things. But today, what we're gonna kind of go over is badass rank. We've got the badass rank here in Borderlands 2, and in Borderlands 1 there was sort of like a proficiency skill going on, and I kind of wanted to touch a little bit on that whole system. Moving into the third game, I really want to see kind of a combination of the two things, but I kind of like the idea of something that is inside of Battleborn, and that's the whole character progression and leveling up. I kind of want to see, potentially, I don't know if they could really make this work, but I kind of want to see proficiency also attached to the guns that you use. For example, the unique legendaries. Maybe it could have sort of a fast-paced, leveling system. Obviously, I kind of want to have assault rifle proficiency. I want to have the badass rank, but I kind of want to have just kind of the gun that you're currently using having its own kind of experience to kind of make it your gun, even if it's only going to last you, for a couple of levels. But this would be more centered towards the late game, where we finally get the perfect variant of whatever it is we've been, farming for. And now we got it, but I want to make it a little bit more unique. But do we really even need that? I'm not even sure. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not even sure if we need something. Oh, hello, gun. I'm not even sure if we need something to that effect, but I want to see if we can have, some more unique ways of making legendaries legendary. I don't know. No. The reason I say this is because I feel like there would be a way to make legendaries a little bit more unique. If you had to, use them a little bit, get in touch with those guns before they became the sort of ultimate slaying gun. I'm curious on your thoughts on this. This is just sort of like a thing I kind of thought up, Is this one better? This one is slightly better by 1 whole damage. But I'm curious on your thoughts on that. Do you think that we could have maybe a separate leveling, or should we kind of stick to just badass rank, or maybe even just stick to Borderlands 1? I don't really know, man. I don't really know, but I want to see something similar to Battleborn in that sense of, you use something a lot, you'll end up getting rewarded in a unique way. It may not necessarily be a good way. It's not necessarily, oh, this is obviously better, but, something to like kind of customize. I also kind of look at Destiny in a sense. And, Destiny has done some things that are also right. For example, you get this gun whenever you first find it. You've got this amazing legendary, but it's not fully leveled up. It doesn't have all of its perks that it could potentially have. And I'm thinking of a system that could kind of work like that, similar to Destiny. You find this legendary gun, and you get attached to your guns. But then again, would that be going against what exactly Borderlands really is? Because I'm not entirely sure. I know the whole leveling up process is, exchanging guns left and right and all that stuff. And even Gearbox himself has said, we don't want to hoard, all the guns. We want you to switch up and out of them. But I feel like the legendaries could use a little extra kick in some way, but I'm not entirely sure. how exactly I would end up doing that. I don't know. I want to see more than just badass rank in some way. I want to see more than just use assault rifles. You are now better with assault rifles. I don't know. I want to go crazy with it, but I'm not entirely sure the best way to do it. So this is going to be the question, the topic for today. What kind of system do you think Borderlands 3 should end up having? Should we go back to Borderlands 1, where it was just, hey, you use assault rifles, you're better with assault rifles? Should we go towards more Borderlands 2-ish, but maybe expand on that? Maybe some of the things that were wrong with Badass Rank is that it didn't really expand too much. It was just sort of the generic stats. You know, it was your fire rate, it was your reload speed, it was all that. But why not expand the Badass Rank a little bit further? Why not give it some stats that may potentially be just a bit better? For example, why don't we have Badass Rank that kind of affects, I don't know, maybe our loot drops? That would definitely be something a little bit interesting. Increasing your chance to find loot drops, maybe even, say, movement speed. And just put a cap on it so that way it doesn't, you know, become ridiculous. Say it like once you've hit like 10% movement speed, you know, that's it. You're good. But I feel like something like that would be pretty interesting for Badass Rank. To kind of touch on the more stats that really aren't affected that much, or maybe even melee speed. You know, that would definitely be better for some of the more melee-based characters. And I also want to get rid of the sort of cap that we kind of have here, where everything has to be the same stat. If we're going to bring back Badass Rank, I want to remove this sort of everything has to be balanced if you want to become a badass. Everything has to be better, because if you're a melee player, one of the stats you have to spec into is shield delay reduction. And you don't want that. You want your shield to stay down as long as possible. That's why you always have to use, you know, the Love Thumper and things like that. But I don't want to use the Love Thumper all the time, you know? I want to use other stuff, but I'm kind of forced to, because the Hide of Terramorphous, once you get enough, you know, shield delay, it just regens instantly, you know? I want to see a little bit more than just the standard stats being thrown in. So now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, some more different kind of stats we could kind of evolve the Badass Rank. You know, we've got plus loot, you know, chance to find those legendaries. We've got some movement speed, maybe even a little bit of straight damage reduction, rather than just trying to buff up our health, you know, to massive amounts or things like that. Maybe we could give ourselves, I don't know. I don't know. I was about to say shield, but then I realized, wait a minute, shield capacity is already kind of a thing. Not really. It doesn't really work that well late game, but you know, it's there. Oh yeah, right. I need to get you your iridium. I need some iridium. Oh yeah. Ah, thanks, Sonny. Thank you for the iridium. Oh yeah. I played throughout the entire first game. I didn't need any iridium, but now, oh, yeah, I need my fix. Get my iridium. Oh. But I'm trying to think of, like, other stats now that we could end up buffing, other than, you know, what we just talked about. You know, the loot increase, the movement speed, the damage reduction. I'm now having a hard time figuring this out. Potentially, to go along with it, if we're talking about different stats that we could, you know, end up having, maybe even a chance to find rare enemies, because we know Gearbox likes to throw in rare enemies like Tubby Midgets, Tubby, or, you know, Loot Goon that we had earlier, things like that. Those kinds of rare enemies, not the badass enemies. Those just kind of happen. But, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to also having a plus chance to find badasses. that also wouldn't be a bad idea. But maybe even finding more of the tubby enemies. You know, chance to find rare enemies. Or maybe I'm just overthinking the whole thing and they've already got like this massive system that just goes over pretty much everything. I want to be able to get like get my hands onto Borderlands 3, so that way I can give you guys some real, you know, news. So we could really delve deep into things. It looks like Gearbox really does care about the feedback a lot more. Not saying they didn't care about it to begin with, but they've definitely improved since Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and responding to feedback and things like that. Battleborn was a very clear, you know, improvement there. Oh, cool. A head. Neat. I don't know. I'm sorry if this episode seems a little jumbled, but it's a strange topic on what exactly we want to go over. Like I said, I want to get more news. I want to get more news for you guys. But for right now, we're going to have to stick on the speculating sides of things. I'm gonna get that raid boss. For the next episode, I'm going to dig up that raid boss that I ended up making. And we're going to go over a couple of things that I want to add in. Rather than talking about things they could add in, I'm going to talk about some stuff that I want to see. Just straight up. I want to be able to build a raid boss. Even though I know that a raid boss building would be a little bit ridiculous. And I am pretty out there on ideas. I straight up make raid bosses. But I think it'd be fun. And I think we're going to go through Bloodshot. Maybe we'll go through Bloodshot the fun way. I don't know if they've patched that or not. Have they actually patched it? I don't really know. But for today, what kind of system should we go with in Borderlands 3? It's irrelevant because they've already decided this. But what kind of system would you like to see? I guess it's the better way to explain things. What kind of system would you like to see inside of Borderlands 3? Similar to Borderlands 1? Similar to Borderlands 2? Do you think the potential of some Destiny weapon side leveling is a thing that we could also add in? Do you think they're going to go with a completely new system altogether? Or what? What do you think is going to happen? I'm curious on your thoughts. This one's been more of a think video. This one's been more of a think. If you've enjoyed the series, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe for future videos. We've been thinking. We've been going over some stuff. I probably should start writing scripts for these things. More than likely. It was a little bit jumbled today. It was a little bit rambly. I won't lie. It was a bit rambly today. But either way, thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you all in the next one, everybody. Oh, this one, I didn't realize this thing said scram. Huh. And I will catch you all in the next one, everybody. Later.